people of planet Earth and beyond this world. This is part 2 of the Cut Off Operation Guaranteed training, briefing, and talk, and the Truth Talks live reality talk show episode that got cut off by YouTube or this chat just moments ago. But we're going to continue this with the part 2 now, and we hope that you get more involved than in part 1 and take things to the next levels, not just for yourselves and your own lives, but for everyone else's in life itself. What do you got, Peter?
That sounds like an amazing introduction, by the way.
Thanks, man.
I mean, YouTube just cut us off, so I'd like to get on one of these lives and be talking to Steven Crowder or freaking Alex Jones, you know, because you're kind of close to him, but you're not like he's more on the imaginative side. That's why he was such a good news anchor.
Did you see his talk with David Icke? He had like a really good interview. Alex Jones and David Icke just killed it.
Oh, I love David.
You get attacked by everybody worldwide now that wants to attack you.
Yeah, he's just at that point, where you just get like extremely frustrated and no one's listening to you.
I'm at
all this knowledge, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, at this point, we're the annoyance. Like our annoyance repeating themselves, people care about more than what we're talking about, killing them off.
Right.
So, like, they want to kill us just because we're annoying them, more than they want to kill the forces of evil, killing them and taking their souls and their kids.
Right.
Some of them. I feel like if people just do what we're doing every day, they'll find meaning and purpose in it. They'll find joy and excitement in it. They'll find themselves in it. They'll find God in it. And they'll, be a lot better off and feel a lot better about hearing other people do it. And it'll be more fun for them to not compete so much. I mean, you can have, cooperative competition.
Right.
What do you call that? Something, something competition. Like respectable competition. I don't know. But we could do that, guys. We could have fun, trying to. We got something called Change the World Challenge. The Change the World Challenge is, part of our project, which is part of Operation Guaranteed. So we have Operation Guaranteed and then Project Impact, and part of Operation Guaranteed and Project Impact and our new backup economy we just created, CashConnect.com, cash with a K. We have the Change the World Challenge, which has its own currency, by the way, backing it up. So the Change the World Challenge is all about changing the world.
Right.
With the least amount of money or no money as possible.
Right.
Much as possible. So compete to do that. I still can't think of the actual term for it. Something competition. Constructive. It's like constructive criticism, but it's something competition. Like friendly competition. Do that and we will change the world. We have the power right now to evolve our consciousnesses, our minds, far beyond any previous generation before us. Because we have the internet.
Right.
We have the ability to do this.
The ability to do this that we have for now until they try to take it with their self-righteousness,
Yeah, so they get hit us with the flash or the what is it? The what are they called? EMPs. So they EMP us.
Yeah.
But right now, we got the power, guys. We have the ability to add up the truth, and we don't even need the internet. But we have Google. We have, all these other things. And, I know Google's a little bit satanic, and I know the Google Play Store is the synagogue or the sigil of Satan. As a weapon against them and a shield. It's not all evil. Look at AI. Is ChatGPT all evil? Is it all divine? No, it's what you make of it. It's what you use it for.
It depends what you use the tool for.
Yeah, exactly. You can use a person's name for evil or divinity.
Right. People do that on the regular.
God, the word God.
Yeah.
God is God all evil? Look at all the evil that's been done in the name of God. Is that God's fault? God didn't do it.
Just watching it. He's
Yeah.
just watching it.
We could get into that, but I mean, think about it like this: if God were, imagine it's a sting operation. I probably shouldn't say this, but let's say it's a sting operation. Everybody knows, Satan or Lucifer works for God or is
Right.
allowed to live, so he could set up everyone that's stupid to lose their
Right.
life while he deludes them into believing that they actually have a chance to win the war. Ragnarok or whatever it is against God, right?
Right.
So everybody knows, it's all set up. So, perhaps we had to forget about that so that it can continue to work. Just like a sting operation, any other sting operation, do you want the criminals to know that you're recording and watching them? That they're going to pay? Or do you want them to continue to do what they're doing so they can get caught because they're evil and they're never going to change?
Right.
Maybe you want to change them. Maybe you want to prevent them from causing harm to others, and you want to prevent them from doing that to themselves in their own life and having to pay for it later. But if they're complete garbage evil and they need to be eradicated for all of eternity, and think about it like this: would you rather start off life with total evil? I mean, with all divinity and have it turn total evil forever and ever, or start out evil and turn totally divine forever and ever? It's better off. So let them hang themselves, let them have delusions, give them a kingdom, and let them pretend like it all matters, like it isn't a freaking facade the whole time, like God didn't let it happen the whole time.
It's a fucking play. It's all a fucking play with puppets and fucking weird ass marionettes. Just it's fucking master of fucking puppets.
It is. It's CIA ISIS. It's the CIA funding, creating ISIS, probably funding, arming ISIS.
It's about
ISIS all over the world. Yeah. Everything that we think is an insult to ISIS, they see it as a compliment. We're Americans, and they hate us. They point at us and they say the CIA agents that infiltrate ISIS, and they're their leaders. They'll say, "Yeah, look at those fucking satanic child raping Americans. They all have to die. They're killing us. They're killing our babies. They're poisoning our air. Look at what they're actually doing."
Right.
That's how they get them to attack America, by talking about the things that are true about it.
Right.
And then they wipe them out.
Programming our kids on a constant basis, not including the fact that their own religion consists of God. When he created the planet, he was such a prisoner. He was a fucking asshole. He was a jerk. He was a douchebag. He trapped us in here, and the snake was the one that let us out. But here you are, putting chemicals and shit in our fucking food and shit to try to keep us down here, trapped with you on some sick, twisted shit. Not to mention, you're going to take it a step further. You're going to go to fucking transcendence with fucking evolution of fucking mechanics and shit. Hopefully fucking AI don't kill us in the long run. But, which may or may not be also something that they curated in their own fucking fate, because they're the one making movies about it. But as far as you're trying to keep us material, you're just trying to keep us material about light, just stuck here.
Saturn, we're talking to you, Lord of the Rings. We're talking to you, you oppressor. Talking to you, Lucifer. Talking to all you guys. Right? The jig is up, guys.
Do you know where the Nike check comes from? Comes from fucking Saturn's rings on the side of it. You want to know where the catchphrase comes from? It comes from a guy on death row who was about to get the chair. He just said, "Just do it," and they did. They did it. Gary Gilmore. And they made it a world rage.
Satanic, demonic curses on us. Everything's a setup. Go to my girlfriend got this. She got this notebook. I didn't want to tell her because she's sick of hearing this shit. So but, it had an eye on it, an all-seeing eye on it, and it had burn after writing or something like that. It had a pack of matches on it and burn after writing in red letters.
Right.
In other words, that's like a curse. Like when you write in it, burn, with satanic symbolism on it.
sound like a fucking death note. But I know a lot of the symbols that they use are actually something that they do purposely to fucking change it. Like the all-seeing eye is actually like the symbol, like the human spirit, but they turn it into
Like the E,
actually
right?
everything. What?
The E letter E stand for spirit,
I didn't know that.
or the E I. I used to get programmed in my head, with the Illuminati shit. And I actually threw up the 666 when I was a kid. I tried to join the Illuminati. I almost became a Mason. I was heavily programmed like an MK. I was an MK Ultra victim from childhood on. I was taken from my home multiple times, programmed, molested, messed with. Basically MK Ultra, Pedogate, Pizzagate from a distance, right?
Right.
But what they did was they programmed you to have all this stuff in your mind, and then they have it on the TV, they have it in the news, they have it everywhere. The celebrities throwing up the 666. You got the pyramids, you got the eyes everywhere, they got the yin yangs, you got the stars everywhere. So when you're children, what they're doing is they're inside your head because they're spirits, and it's
Right.
spirit over mind over matter. The mind is the battlefield. The devil messes with you with the demons in your mind and your consciousness, not in front of you physically, in your head. And so that's how they program this stuff. And I got programmed with 666 covering up my eye and stuff, and I have a droopy left eye from fear and trauma based mind control, the split, the fracture, and they put this stuff in your kids' heads, and you got to know about this. The Alice in Wonderland, the butterfly, the monarch butterfly. That stands for beta sex kitten programming, basically pimping out your kids.
Right, the red fucking birds. Yeah. Red
all those butterflies are sex slaves. That stands for that they're a sex slave. And it's a mockery of them and God, saying, here's your transformation, here's your metamorphosis, here's your spiritual transfiguration, here's your ascension. Here, we broke you up and we broke you down and built you up all right. A sex slave, a Manchurian candidate, a school shooter, a spy, a hitman, an assassin, a man in black, a Smith agent, a soldier. That's what they do.
Right. Well, that's also another thing that's got a double meaning. The fucking 666 is actually supposed to be the number of mankind: 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, 6 protons.
But guess who's supposedly the creator of mankind?
You said what?
But guess who is supposedly the creator of mankind?
I don't think anybody denies God.
And the man 666. And the beast, Lucifer, Satan, the creator of mankind.
I don't.
But not the spiritual consciousness of mankind, not the souls of humanity, just the bodies. The things that are, the flesh and blood that, can't inherit the kingdom of God, apparently. Or we were just modified by him, and he claimed to be the creator after he reduced our DNA, capped it off at 2 strands, and calcified our pineal glands, poisoning the shit out of us, in every way, even, verbally with lies, to make us call him daddy.
Not only that, in different ways, because, when we learn English, I don't know if you know this, but English is spells. So as far as English is concerned, Greek and Latin, the combination of the 2 letters is actually created spells. Because weekdays, you're weak and you're in the days.
Oh, yep.
And then there's a weekend.
You're mourning yourself, or they're being mourned because they're the fallen beings that are being mourned.
Yeah. So.
And, all the dyes that they put in the food, and to kill us, so we die.
Yeah. Well, that's why they had to take out people like Dr. Sebi, who cured AIDS and cancer. You have that.
Yeah. See how many? I seen a video on TikTok. It was a compilation, like a little mini documentary, showing tons of people that created their own versions of free energy devices and how they were killed right before it came out into the world. Like at the meeting or right before the meeting where they were going to release it or reveal it, every single time, suicide or death somehow.
There was a guy, I think I told you about the last time, where they were talking the Brooklyn shooting, where the guy took out the sheriff. That sheriff was teaching people like online how to make your car run on water.
Oh shit! I seen something like that. He died. Yeah, he got assassinated.
And they took him out. They took a bunch of random people out just to make it look like it wasn't a fucking planned hit. So
they're sloppy. They just don't get it that we caught on now. That we know about thousands of more years of their devilry and lies and deceptions and false flags and their mind control programming. We already know that knowledge is spreading far and wide. So it's like a kid that, you broke the vase. You got caught. We know you broke the vase. You're caught on camera, see? Stop lying. Stop gaslighting everybody. Stop pretending you're God to pretend that you can't be prosecuted for the crime.
That's why they're trying to outlaw TikTok, because there's only a couple seconds and you can learn so much. Those couple seconds, if you have your TikTok algorithm set to a certain amount of videos, you can learn a lot. So
they're like retarded children, man. That's what they are. They're like stuck at a 5-year-old mentality, or like elementary school where they're like the bullies, and anything you say about them, no, it's you, because we control the world, and they say it. They'll say it too because we told them to. It's you. You're the everything. Stop it. That's them, man. Every day we're gonna persecute you and torture you and slander you and frame you and call you everything we are worldwide and pretend we're only doing it to you, and it's because of you. You're the reason. You did this. You did it. There's not.
Just hear your name. Yeah. Basically,
you're the Antichrist. You're a false prophet. You're a terrorist. You're a threat to national security. You're a rapist. You're a pedophile. You're a human trafficker. You're a fucking liar. You're a psychopath. You're a sociopath. You're a fraud. You're a charlatan.
Man against the state. You're Hugh Jackman.
You think you're God or something. What are you? You're Superman? You're Batman? You're Spider-Man? You're Hulk? What are you going to do, Harry Potter? Cast a spell on us? Come on, Simba, get your pride rock. That's all I hear. I hear patheticness from all of them. When they call you the Antichrist, just take it as a compliment. Say, wow, thank you. I'm so Christ-like, you actually believe people will think that I'm Jesus? And then the Antichrist, so you can frame me? Thank you.
I was actually called Jesus once. I was walking down the street. I had a big-ass beard, which I had to cut because I had to go to an interview. But I was walking down the street, and somebody called me Jesus. I swear to God, dude, I held in my laughter so hard. I was like, dude, he was never called Jesus when he was here. He was called Yeshua.
They can say, he's us. He's Jesus, and he's us. So they can push that you're him, he's you. What do you mean? And now you're an Antichrist right at the end times. As soon as as soon as they're ready to get all of you at the same time, saying that you're Jesus and God, then you're the Satans and the Antichrist, I assure you.
I just like the video that I told Devin about before we got on live. We were on the cell phone talking. I was telling him about that. There's literally a video that explains each and every line inside the trilogy of the Matrix, which is, dude, I tried watching the fourth one. Oh my God, that shit was off so fucking fast. But the first three or whatever, they explain so much about your world. And there's like a whole hour-and-a-half YouTube video where he goes over every single line and he explains that the basic and the beginning of the writing of the Matrix, the trilogy, was actually to wake you up. And that's why they end up coming out as the opposite sexes, because they touch the fucking nerve. So
I want people to go in the comments right now and talk about the Matrix. I want them to add on to what you just said and take it to the next levels, because the Matrix movie does expose a lot about reality. But I noticed there's a lot of some inversions and programming in there that seems to be satanic or some Luciferian shit. But I want to get into that.
In a way, it is. In a way, it is self-worship, but so is your birthday. Your birthday is technically the same holiday.
Sing me happy birthday to you. You know, the gang stalkers are the gang stalk you around. I had some people singing happy birthday to me because they're like, yeah, Jesus was born in September. You're him. And I'm like, screw off, because I'm not. So that's what we're going to do to you guys. As soon as you start getting to the point where, you're talking so much truth that you're shutting them down, Now you have to be the devil. You have to be the Antichrist. You have to be a false prophet. You have to be the biggest fucking deal, the worst kinds of evil.
Right.
To replace them and all that and distract everyone from all that, right?
Right.
So you slowly escalate to being a worse and worse criminal and evil villain the more you reveal about how they are over time.
But everything that they have, they twisted and took. Like even January 6th, believe it or not. January 6th, 1982 was when Ron Wyatt actually found the mercy seat of Jesus Christ. And actually gave his life to Jesus because he studied the blood that fell from the cross into the ground onto the seat, and he found out that it had 24 chromosomes.
Wow!
And he literally gave his life to Christ.
I believe in real.
How's that possible?
I don't think
I believe in him. I just don't believe his name is Jesus Christ, nor do I believe he's white. But
yeah. Why would they use that? Why would they have us go back and forth, Christ and Antichrist, everything Christ this and everything? Why wouldn't they just come up with something else?
I don't know. They
obviously have to copy something. They have to copy it. They don't have it. Even if they themselves invented it, they're not measuring up to it. So what are they going to do?
It's so funny how they take the exact same path that their spiritual leader is fucking taking them. You know, Satan never creates something himself. He takes everything that God has and he just twists it.
Because energy can't be created or destroyed by Satan. So he's not created.
I even seen a video where they were trying to fucking basically compel me to believe that fucking Christ was actually born on September 11th. And he wasn't even born in April. But I don't know about that. I have to fact check it.
September 11th, or someday in September or October, or in the spring equinox or whatever. Or not? That's not spring. Not bad. Over there.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not December 25th. December 25th is the birthday of Horus, of Tammuz, of Nimrod, of Sol Invictus, of Mithras. It's always December 25th, guys. That's their version. And they say Christ is an aeon, is a spiritual being, not a physical being. Not a being in one location in time and space, a being beyond time and space.
Right.
In every atom, in every molecule, in every heart, in every mind, and every soul here. In every speck of life, there's God, there's Christ. According to the thing they say is true.
Right.
So if these beings that you're worshiping are exhibiting any characteristics or red flags that say that they are not everywhere at the same time, all knowing, all powerful, more loving than everyone you know combined, and you at the same time as being everyone and them omnisentiently, well, there you go. You know they're not God, don't you? Or they're not the image that they said God is, to get your worship and to get you to be their slaves all these years. And they never will be.
Right. It's about continuing it until you're technically caught into the same thing that everybody else was, where you're basically working and you're not even making enough money to survive, which is kind of like nowadays, but whatever.
I just made a video yesterday, this quarter right here. Let's say they crash the economy and render the dollar valueless. Or let's say this, the new currency they're coming out with, the blockchain, they say you're going to need 55 US dollars to equal one of their dollars. One of their dollars. You need 55 US dollars. And on top of that, don't forget the inflation. Don't forget the increased prices. And don't forget how they shrink the packages simultaneously because they're fucking assholes. Right? New and improved. Smaller packages. Oh, yay, the fun size. It's fun to get ripped off more and more every day. It's fun.
That was the point of it, man. That was the point of it, to put fucking RFID chips in our hands so we can wave it like we're fucking in the Jetsons or some shit.
But here's the debate. If they crash the dollar like that, is this quarter now worth more than $1 in its metal value? Is a quarter or a penny now technically worth more than $1 with its copper value?
Copper in itself is a whole another reason that you can go upon, because they say Barack Obama was the first black president, but believe it or not, Abraham Lincoln's mother was Ethiopian, so we technically already had a black president. I'm waiting for the day when they make another Boondocks and they bring up Abraham Lincoln. He just flips him off. But I was the first president, not you. But I don't know if they're gonna do it. But
Another one thing I got to address, I think I got to add on to that. You know, the one thing you were talking about, the Matrix, where people are calling, they call Neo the One.
right,
That's one of the programs that they're doing with mind control, the MK Ultra stuff that the CIA and
Yep.
FBI and all these other Illuminati fuckers do. They
Yeah.
go in your head and they say, "You're the one. You're the chosen one. You're special. You're this.
Right.
You're that. You're gonna beat us. You're gonna beat the force of evil. You're gonna do it. You're the savior. You're like Christ." And they try to fuel that. And just remember, the only real one is God. God is the one. God is the one that was in the man, Jesus, Yeshua, and he said it himself. The spirit that is in me is in you. That's God.
right,
And then through your intuition, your gut instinct, beyond your senses. That's from within, not outside.
Right.
That's where God is, inside of you, in your heart right now, literally, not figuratively, not metaphorically, literally in your heart spiritually right now.
Right.
Spiritual is not imaginary. Spiritual is more real than physical is. There is no
Right.
physical without the spiritual.
right. Physical only exists because of the spiritual. But what I was trying to say is that was the only time where they could consider themselves to be completely like racist, because they put them on a penny. And there was other presidents, I think, that were like had a black lineage too. I think Eisenhower was one too. But nobody even mentions them. They always just say Barack Obama was the first black president. And I was like, yo, there's so many people. I think Andrew Jackson had like some lineage too, but he was a part of, the Trail of Tears, but somehow he's still on the $20 bill.
It seems like anybody
Make
that
sense.
makes like a hero, anybody that does something heroic, anybody that's a public figure,
Right.
the more Christ-like they are, the more antichrist they are. The more of God they are and with God they are, the more of Satan they are. The more they speak the truth, the
Right.
more they lie.
Right, but
That's how it works.
even Benjamin Franklin in his house in like Pennsylvania, they found all sorts of bones from different bodies, some of which were children. Like, he's on the 100. They're holding this guy to a pretty high standard.
I mean, all this is kind of obvious now that I think about it. Like, this is really obvious stuff. Like, if you
Right.
think about it, the force of evil control the planet. Let's recap. They need to hold it down. They control the planet because the Bible says in 2 Corinthians 4:4 that the devil's the god of earth. Okay. You got a whole bunch of evil all around you. You got a bunch of capitalism, communism, Nazism, Satanism, Luciferianism, Antichristism, child trafficking, human trafficking, mind control, murder, genocide, holy wars, lying, framing, division, everything. It's all around you, right? Slavery is all around you. We're not free.
Right.
We're enslaved.
Right.
So with all that being said, obviously they would do all this stuff. Obviously they call anyone speaking the truth a liar, anyone that's good evil, and anyone that's trying to help anybody a fucking false savior charlatan, right?
Right.
It's obvious. Let's wake up to it now
Right.
and fight back and defend each other instead of attacking each other because we're scared of what other people are going to say about us, because we don't want to get attacked with the people being persecuted and targeted all around us, right?
Right.
Like kids in an elementary school, don't say anything too deep and meaningful because that's not cool. We can't be around you talking like that, man. You have to talk like this. Yeah, clickety, clickety, blot, blot. Yeah. That's how you talk.
Yeah.
My niggas and my bitches, yo.
Right.
My hoes and my pimps. My beast and my goats. Right? Nah. Don't say the goat. The goat means the devil, by the way. And don't say the beast because that means the Antichrist, by the way. So don't call each other the devil. See, it's everywhere. It's obvious. They're programming all of civilization to get fucking damned. It's right there.
Well, he said he'd separate the sheep from the goats, and the goats know where they're gonna go. But
But he
depart
also
from me,
but
I don't know
also
you.
got everybody being called sheeple.
Yeah,
Sheep are people that blindly follow the herd. So they inverted reality in our minds there as well and had us call people that blindly follow the herd the sheep when they're the ones that get saved according to the Bible.
right,
They don't blindly follow the herd.
right.
So people that are the sheep of God are the people that don't blindly follow the herd, but they're being called sheeple, the people that follow the herd, inverting the truth so that the goats out there, you're the goat, man. You're the beast, bro. They're the cool ones. See how they do that?
Oh yeah. Well, in times the good will be bad, the bad will be good.
Yep. That's how they did it. And then
I don't
I
know,
don't know, man. It's just crazy. Crazy, bro.
there's some truth to it, but there's definitely some mixed lie in there, definitely, as far as the Bible is concerned. So, but
Yeah, I think it's it's that Enki versus Enlil stuff. It's the beings, Shiva and Vishnu. They say Krishna was Vishnu. He was an avatar of Vishnu. And they
right,
say they got their Christ from Krishna.
right,
But there's a whole bunch of different stories. The first creation story that we have
yeah,
from back in Babylon or before that, it's the being called Marduk or whatever his name is, Marduk,
right,
aka Gilgamesh, Mars, Nimrod, Ra, Horus, right? And what
yeah,
he did was he sliced up the mom, sliced up the dad, sliced up Kingu, and made the planet out of the mother's corpse, made the sun, the moon, or the asteroid belt, and then made humanity. The
Hey,
bodies of humanity, not the souls.
hey, I wanted to tell you, you seen the last video I did about the hot water and the cold water. There was a video that I did a duet of before that one that like explained something else. Like there's like a spiritual guy on TikTok. His name's like a revival of wisdom, where he like explains like the human body, the force field, all sorts of other stuff. But he was going on a rant and saying that I guess the right side of your brain teaches you like intuition and stuff, and the left side of your brain just teaches you like logic or whatever.
So
And
they should have cut off your right
I,
hemisphere, right?
I literally just looked into the camera. I'm like, yeah, well, that's why in America, the majority of us are taught to write with our right hand. So all of us that write
Yeah.
with our,
And we
like,
got droopy left eyes for being mind controlled, messed with. We get split fracture in our mind to separate the hemispheres. And
right,
the CIA in the Tavistock Institute for years did research into hemi syncing the brain. And they
yeah,
found out when you sync the hemispheres of the brain, you have direct access to the collective subconscious, aka God.
right.
And you can program reality, and that's how the law of attraction works. So
It's
when
all,
your brain has to be in sync to have that like oneness, that
right.
unity, consciousness, and then now you're like a superhuman or so. Or you're operating how you're supposed to be.
Yeah, well, the best way to do that is through like binaural beats and stuff. They combine the two hemispheres. But the guy has a pretty interesting video. But when I explained that, I was basically saying like that's why a lot of us don't really wake up like we should, because we're right-handed. Like I'm a minority because I'm left-handed. I'm 1 in 10 people are left-handed. So like a lot of people won't really like understand some of the things as far as like intuition. He goes through like a whole list. Like if you watch the TikTok, like all the things that the right and left hemisphere actually have. But
Wow.
it's a pretty interesting video. Right? He basically explained why America's the way the fuck it is. That's why
Well, it's
nobody,
Uncle Sam Al, Uncle L, you know,
yeah.
Uncle Satan. But I want to get into that creation story again. You ready for the plot twist kicker, the surprise?
What is it?
The first creation story that we have on planet Earth, like I said, it mentions basically the main character is Marduk or Marduk, Merodach, Mars, Nimrod, Horus, Tammuz, the so-called Antichrist Ra, right?
Right.
That's who he is, the Antichrist, but the son of Enki. And Enki, A-K-E-A, is the son of Anu of the Anunnaki.
Right.
And guess what? Marduk in the story, or as the story goes, he's the hero, the savior that saved everyone from the no good monster, their mother, and the no good monster, their father. And they're called the Titans that killed their family members and got the tablets of destiny and created this, set themselves up as the gods, and made us go through all this all these years. And that's probably why they're going to go down as the Antichrist and the devil and all that stuff. And that's probably why this is the end of the world, because the world should not have existed. Or those are lies that they told us.
Have you seen the rocks that look like humans that were petrified? Like they have big ass fucking like monster rocks, like fucking huge rocks that look like mountains, but they're actually like
giants. Yeah. They're those are the fallen angelic offspring that they flooded. They flooded them.
Right. They turned this like rock.
That's probably they got probably preserved in the water or in the rock or something. And like because they're fallen angelic beings. That's probably why they didn't decay like we do. They got like mummified.
Yeah.
They have fallen angelic DNA.
Right. How about the other one? Some people think these things are mountains and they're like humongous trees that they fucking end up knocking down. And they look like mountains, but they're fucking at the top. You can see the brim, like the fucking like the trees.
They could have been burned, dude. They could have been burned so hot that it just made them like that, turn them into stone. They could have been like clay in an oven or something. I don't know.
It's pretty crazy because they were explaining that I guess in the movie Mona or whatever they have a goddess in there that ends up turning into flame or whatever, but they had like a rock that they were showing the camera on. It looked like a person that was just laying down, but they were petrified. But it was like a big rock, like it was like a titan. It wasn't like a regular human rock.
I seen it. I know what you're talking about, or I saw one of them. That's crazy, man. Yeah, they're real. This is all real. I mean, I believe that being called Marduk or Mars is a real being. People worship him all throughout time. He's the one they called Nimrod, the king of Babylon, the supreme god of Babylon, that created the Tower of Babel himself and rebelled against God and is called the Antichrist.
Right.
So that's a real being. And that's the first creation story. And that's the son of Enki, who's the god of this world, Ptah Osiris. So it all connects. And they created the Nephilim by having sex with human women, by raping human women back in the day. And that's where they came from. That's where those giants came from angelic beings that are not human having sex with human beings.
Right, called spirit spouses, incubus and succubuses. Yeah. All right.
And that's how you know this is all real, because that's the proof of it.
Right, but that's been legend for a long time. That's been around for a long time. Just like the Star of David is actually it's a mystical symbol. That's more like a symbol that they probably use more toward the time where they end up letting in other spirits and stuff, end up turning from God. That's why they end up getting in captivity from Egypt or whatever.
All throughout time, people didn't have the internet and all this stuff, so it remained a legend. It remained a debate, a theory, or a myth. And now we can combine all the aspects of those things and see what's true, proven, and add it up. We can do what they could not do all throughout time here. We can now do that, and that's what Truth Talks is all about, guys. That's why we have truth. That's why we have Operation Guaranteed.
It's the age of information. Definitely is.
This is an actual operation to literally help to wake up free and save us. More than the government's doing. More than add up every special agent, every spy, every, 007 guy out there, we're more real than they are. What we're doing right now is more real than all of their corporate missions for profit and control. Unless they're stopping some terrorists from nuking us right now, or stopping some biological weapon from being released into the population, or some, horrible attack, what are they doing? Analyzing data about you? About you being a terrorist more and more? Because you have a problem with them being the terrorists or working for them? That's what they're doing. We're not doing that. We're doing the real work for real God and all of you. See, we're the real agents. And we don't get paid for this. And that's real intelligence, not counterintelligence, not lies. You just got it. Now you can be agents too. Because you're trained in brief, see? Real thing.
There's a lot of stuff they don't even teach you in school, like especially about the DC street layout. They got a whole pentagram. They got a whole bunch of stuff just in the layout of Washington DC. Not to mention that they lie to you that the fact that DC is not even connected to the rest of the country. So all the laws that they pass, it's all for all of us, but not DC. DC is run over Lex Fori law.
Yeah, they have immunity.
Yeah.
Total immunity. But they don't have immunity from us and God. They have immunity with their rules and their sick game they play with everybody. But when you stop playing their sick games, those rules don't matter anymore. The only rules that matter are God's rules. That's it.
Right.
For everybody to remember that. Don't forget it. God's rules are the only real rules in life. And they played God all these years. So now you have to discern the differences between real God's rules and theirs.
Right.
And keep in mind, they set up a lot of rules so that you couldn't get them like that, giving themselves immunity from prosecution.
Right. They basically put you as a straw man, corporate fiction. So that way they can make money off you. It's like you're born.
You're the scapegoat sacrifice. If you allow yourself to be. Don't. Ridiculous what's going on here, guys. But it takes us to work together to help stop it. And this is what we got to do. We got to fearlessly or courageously speak the truth about it enough so that enough people hear about it, and they're doing it too. So that way, who can be deceived to give our enemies more power and control to continue on their nefarious agendas like the New World Order and the controlled genocide and depopulation program? How can they continue to groom your children if you call them out and call them the groomers that they are? Brainwashers, programmers, indoctrinators, Satanists. How can Satanism be a religion when you put your hand on a holy Bible that says Satanism is a threat to us all and is against God?
You know what I was thinking? You know what I was thinking about here? I was thinking about do you know back in Egypt or Pharaoh well, not back in Egypt, but like back in the day, like if you go back far enough, they had every leader have like a spiritual advisor or a sorcerer or whatever. Do you want to know who they put as Zelensky's right hand person?
Who?
Aaron Brockovich.
What? The ones that sacrifice the kids and shit? The Satanism everywhere?
Yeah, the witch. The witch you done.
Witch lady.
Yeah. Did you know that?
They're probably riddled with demons or something, man. They're probably not even human anymore. Either that or they're like fucking brainwashed, mind control. I want to say this to all you guys that are out there, now that you know this is all real, take a look at Netflix. Take a look at all the movie covers. You'll see a monarch butterfly. You'll see a fracture, a split like broken glass over their faces. This means they're mind control victims. You know, Pizzagate and Pedogate, how they had tacos and hot dogs on the menu? That's how they're on the menu everywhere. Take a look at Hollywood. Take a look at all the celebrities that have monarch butterflies in their photos, that have droopy left eyes, that have an eye covered up with a 666 over their face. See, they don't even really know it, but they have been monarch programmed with multiple personality disorder or dissociative identity disorder. They have what's called alters. The ones that don't know, the ones that do know, they already know. They have
Right.
alters, and these alters allow them to be sexually trafficked, led to do horrible, atrocious things they don't remember, murder people, run secret missions, and just do anything really. And that's what they use them for. They use these people for all that stuff. So a monarch butterfly means they're a sex slave. If they're split fractured, if they have the split fracture over their face, that means they've been mind controlled. They've been fractured in their mind. So they have alters, so they can be used basically for anything. Oh, you want to have sex with them? Hey, go ahead. You want to use them for a mission? Hey, go ahead. Top dollar. Look at Taylor Swift in the bathtub full of jewelry. She's the highest class sex slave on the planet. And look at all her alters in the end of Look What You Made Me Do, turning on her because she's being possessed. Well, you all support the devilry. No offense, sorry. But she grooms her children to be whores.
I can't remember the name of the priestess for the Satan Church, but she looked like completely identical to Taylor Swift. I've seen that in the video too.
She's an actual satanic priestess.
Yeah, inside the Satanic Church that looks just like Taylor Swift. Like it's like uncanny how close they look.
It's probably not even really Taylor Swift.
It's not. But I'm just saying it looks like she could be a clone of her or something.
Yeah, I don't think Taylor Swift is even Taylor Swift. She's either not Taylor Swift because it's literally not Taylor Swift, or she's not Taylor Swift because she's a mind control victim. Either way, one is the truth.
Right.
And she's not. She's just one example of all of them. All of them. Just about every single child that went through 666 satanic Disney got violated right in front of us, slowly over time. They got pimped out, they got sexualized, they got demonized, they got desensitized and demoralized, they got, put into materialism and all that mentality so they could literally lose their souls. And help to program your kids and all of you to go along with that mentality. Lose yours as well. That's what it is. It's really what it is.
Have you seen the interview with Macaulay Culkin, like on the set of Home Alone 2?
Oh yeah, man. What they did to that guy is horrible.
Yeah.
Ted Gunderson said it too. The Amber Alert?
Yeah.
He started the Amber Alert. That came from Ted Gunderson. Ted Gunderson was the vice director, assistant director, whatever, of the FBI for several decades. Right. He ran the counterintelligence program too. Remember the COINTELPRO that got shut down by the church committee?
Yeah.
He personally ran counterintelligence and persecuted, because that's what it is, persecution. He persecuted himself, gang stalked Martin Luther King Jr. and his family.
Right.
And then personally came forward as a government whistleblower, apologized for it, for spreading lies about him, even though he did cheat on his wife or something happened. He said that's the only thing that was true. And he apologized and then said straight up, using these words, the Illuminati-controlled CIA, the once great CIA and FBI, how they traffic your children for the satanic elite.
Right.
That's what he said. He blew the whistle on the CIA and FBI and said they're Illuminati-controlled, and they've been Illuminati-controlled the whole time, just like Trump said it in his inauguration speech, and then said, you are the rulers of this nation again, not them. But people didn't comprehend it. They didn't get it.
Right. Because they don't know what's going on.
He said, for too long, the establishment has been in control of this nation. That's what Trump said in his inauguration speech. He said, this whole entire time, he blew the whistle. He spilled the beans on all former presidents. He said every other president before him, aside from maybe JFK or somebody, someone like him, was a Masonic, Freemasonic, Illuminati puppet traitor, committing treason and terrorism, using fear, threats, intimidation against us in pursuit of political aim, or whatever they could in pursuit of these political agendas. And political agendas equals satanic agendas, because all politics is actually satanic deception and scandals. It never wasn't.
It's energy gathering. That's what it is. But as far as the word conspiracy theory actually comes from the CIA in order to discredit civil rights units. Like civil rights leaders was the word that they used to take out civil rights leaders, was conspiracy theorists. So
yeah, that's another thing. Holy and everyone that speaks the truth is a conspiracy theorist.
Right.
Yeah, everything's the opposite.
Right.
The truth is theoretical now. What's
Right.
undebatable is a debate. And
Yeah,
what
but
debatable is not. What is
I
or
think,
what's disproven is proven true. What do you mean? And everything that's proven true is the debate. It's a conspiracy theory.
yeah, but a nation full of lies is ultimately gonna destroy itself, though. If you no longer know what the truth is,
That's what they're
what
doing
is
to us.
it?
That's why they're pointing at us, saying we're the villains.
Right.
We're the terrorists while they commit terrorism against us. We're the murderers while they murder us because we're trying to get them for their crimes.
Right.
We're the Nazis while they be Nazis to us. We're the Satanists while they work for Satan against us and God. We're the Antichrist while they pretend to be Christ and we don't like it. So
Right.
we're Antichrist to them.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's the life, man. It's just getting revealed. It says in the Bible everything was going to get revealed, so I believe it. I believe it's all happening.
It is. It's just a matter of time. It's all just a matter of time. They ain't gonna win in the end. So
Well, we can't let evil win. Because if evil wins, then it's hell everywhere in life. It's not just a nation that gets divided and crumbles and gets destroyed from that. It's the whole existence.
well, it's starting now with the truth. You know what I mean? My truth. This is my truth. No, it's the truth. Truth
If
is
we
never
let
going to
them
be
spread
rejected.
through space
Well,
force into space to other
uh,
galaxies into higher dimensions and spread this garbage mentality, this narcissistic
right,
delusion that they can be God without God and they can do everything without the truth and lie forever and just abuse and victimize people and have them as their slaves and property, they need to be killed. If we allow them to spread, they will destroy all of existence and turn it into hell. These are facts. It must be stopped now. And even the forces of evil now that hear this message, the people that are connected with them, know that there is some kind of dignity that you must have within you. There is
right.
some kind of line that must never be crossed again, that you must find, that you know that they will continue to cross that line and stab you in the back. They have no love, no loyalty, no care for you at all. And what do they have to offer you that they're not stealing from anyone else anyway? Get rid of them. Quarantine them, kill them off. That's it. That's it, guys. Anyone pretending to be, anyone pretending to be God needs to go. And anyone being the devil needs to go. Anyone that's, pretending to be overly divine, my name's Devin Divine on here. That's not doing that. Okay. I'm just aspiring to be divine. Okay. It's a stage name, right? Be like Christ, be like God. That's what we're supposed to do, right? So don't attack me.
Responding
You
to
made
the
the
spiritual. Yeah,
opposite. So
right.
I didn't put divine, I put divine. They wouldn't let me put divine anyways. But it's not about that. It's about, you're supposed to wake up, guys. You're supposed to be more divine. And there's even a verse in the Bible that says you have to be more godly than the Pharisees and the lawmakers. You have to be more godly than them, or you will not inherit the kingdom of God. You will not go to heaven. That's what it says. If you're not more godly than those false gods, you're not going to make it.
Right.
But you can't be too more godly than those false gods, thinking that you could be a god too, like them. See? So you can't oversimplify and overgeneralize, not get into the details, think that ignorance is bliss, and you see no evil, hear no evil, and speak of no evil, and everything's going to be great because it's not. You know it now, don't you? You know it, or you should. That's what Christ said, right?
He also said that man would rob them, and they have been robbing them with tithes. They're supposed to just bring in clothes and all sorts of stuff into the storehouse, but yet they're taking 10% of everybody's paycheck.
Yeah,
So,
taxes on top of taxes on top of taxes on top of taxes.
well, they don't. Yeah, they don't get taxed. That's the thing about the church.
And
Separation of the
they
church and
already
the state.
robbed and monopolized. Monopolizing is a crime, first of all. So it's
Right.
called usury. And they're extorting us for our own world's resources. So they
Right.
basically bought up all the water, bought up all the all the power and all the internet. They control everything with their corporations,
Yeah.
and that's how they do it.
Yeah. Turn America into a corporation too. Crazy. Act of 1871. Look it up.
They just made it look legitimate, like they did it all legitimately. They create money, call it legal tender, right? It's currency, it's fraud, it's usury, it's theft. It's backed by no value, no gold or silver. It's backed by slavery. It's backed by it's actually anti-value. It's a virus. It's a life-sucking virus. It sucks the life out of us and everything, right?
Right.
So
Turn
it
people
represents
asshole.
value.
Yeah.
So they take that and then they pretend that that's legitimate, and then they get you to use it, so you're complicit in it, right? So they launder all that through you, and then they use that to launder everything else, to buy everything, to buy the governments, to buy the corporations, to buy every product that everyone loves, so they can taint it and poison it afterwards, knowing that everyone's going to consume it still, right? That's what they do.
Well, they put you in debt to the corporation.
Yeah, and make you work excessively hard for it to kill yourself. You work extra hard to go to a 7-Eleven and buy everything in there that's poisonous to kill yourself and pay extra for it. And then you pay excessively amount for things you shouldn't even have to pay for, like everything that we need, that we all can agree we all need.
Right.
Like food, water, power, and internet and phone service, right? So why are we being robbed blind for the very things we all agree we need and shouldn't have to ever pay for? And who do we owe the debt to? Who are we in debt to? God? The devil? Who the fuck do we owe money to? How are we in debt? How's the world in debt? To who? The money itself is debt. So what do we do? We're in debt. So technically, if we owe money, we owe anti-value. So that must mean we're rich, not broke, because we owe a bunch of negative value. What is that? How do we pay how do you pay negative value? How do you pay the opposite of money? Tell me. How do you pay somebody in the opposite of what's valuable? Because that's what money was. That's what it represented. Zero, nothing, or negative value. Interest.
Right, it was fiat.
Yeah, that could never be paid.
Right.
The debt ceiling, it's a lie. What ceiling? The money itself is debt. It always was.
We're probably gonna end up going to war. Like, come on over that. You know damn well they're gonna go to war.
Yeah, they got to crash the economy. And, what are they going to do? They're going to play Prom React Solution and pretend like the same banking dynasty, the same Rothschild satanic dynasty, crime family, isn't behind the new currencies in the global reset.
Yeah.
Let's be real. We know they are. And now they got a quantum supercomputer to connect your brains to it. So now they can monitor your thoughts and track you around everywhere, see all your eyes, hear all your ears, fuck your kids in their sleep at night, in their dreams, in a virtual reality, sorry for my language, and totally enslave you more and more, brainwashing you, indoctrinating you, depowering and repowering you like it's MK Ultra from a distance, like they've been doing to us. Every second. TargetingExposed.com proves it. TargetingExposed.com. There you go. That's for all government agencies. Echelon, I'm bombing the White House right now. I'm bombing all of America with the truth bombs here, with love bombs. I love you guys. All that. We're a threat to national security. Acts that shouldn't have been passed that were threats to national security. We're triggering the trigger words, man. I don't know. I shouldn't have put that, but just trying to get some attention here from the NSA and the CIA and the FBI and everybody else to do their jobs.
Just be yourself, man. It's fine. You gotta get enough energy from anybody. I mean, you're probably like four knots lower than Alex Jones.
We need to go rogue, guys. We Trump. Who is Alex Jones? Alex Jones is a guy that just keeps talking, and who remembers what he said because he keeps saying all these different things. I'm sorry, Alex, but you know what? People are saying you're in on it, and I'm not saying you're in on it, but I am saying you need to step it up, buddy. Stop. Anytime anytime you mention money or selling items and doing all this stuff, that's when we shut it off.
I don't know, man. I think he's awesome. I never really had a problem with him. I know he probably just got fucking tricked. That's all. He just got tricked like a lot of other people. But they definitely have a pretty decent video saying that guy was fucking laughing talking about his son dying.
Yeah, trying to make a gesture and all this other stuff.
Straight up chuckling and shit. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's obviously a genuinely caring man that does the right thing. I'm not saying that he's Illuminati or anything, but I
Yeah,
am
I
saying
don't think he is. I know the certain topics he don't bring up. I think Israel is something that a lot of people say that he never brings up. But
he's all about his show. That's the problem. That's what I'm saying. It needs to be less about us individuals and more about, what are we doing with an operation or a mission or a project, or what are we doing now? How
right,
are we enforcing this? How are we, being a force that must be reckoned with?
right.
Now, we started the Truth Force, guys. Check that out. Facebook.com/group/the Truth Force. And you can listen to the Truth Force song as well. SoundCloud.com/the Device. Give you the Truth Force. But you're in the Truth Force, right?
I got SoundCloud, but I don't think I'm on that.
Oh, well,
I
you're.
definitely have SoundCloud. I make beats and I write. So
Well, then you're official, bro. Welcome to the Truth Force. That's what the Truth Force is all about. Using talents, using our gifts, using the truth together at the same time. Like these satanic sellout artists do, where they push their demonic programming. We do the opposite. We push counter programming to their counterintelligence.
right,
Expose it all and shame them so that maybe they'll stop doing it themselves and start doing what we're doing because they don't want people to shame them too and think the worst of them now that they see what they're doing and what they are. That's
yeah,
the plan. To turn the tables on them, to Trojan horse the entire existence, as we've been doing literally every single day, in a sting operation of life itself, on all the forces of evil, on everyone that tells anything but a little white lie like, do I look fat in this dress? Honey, you're going down. You think that you can have property, people as your property? Well, then you think it's okay for us to teach you a lesson and you to be our property. Or maybe it's not okay. You just got to die. Or you got to pay for your crimes. You go to jail, get locked up, whatever, quarantined off from the rest of existence because you're demons and devils and viruses. So
yeah.
that's really what it is, guys. And I'm talking to the 1% or less. I'm not talking to the 99%. But they want you to think that I am. I assure you, I'm hoping that it's the 99% or more that is not that anymore, more and more as time passes. Because why be it? If you can see where they're going, you can see they're going down. You can see they're the laughing stocks of life. They're the biggest freaking jokes. They're the most deluded, disgusting, despicable, careless, ignorant, buffoon sellouts, backstabbing, disloyal, fucking nothings. They're lost. And you know what? They're the ones that pretend that they're all that. They're everything. You're nothing without them, bitch. Right? Let's be real. They're the narcissist. And everybody has narcissism. So don't wage war on narcissists because everyone's a narcissist deep down, no matter what. Because narcissism is your ego. And you can't not have an ego, or you wouldn't be here.
Right.
So it's antinomous and multivalent. There's a healthy ego and there's an unhealthy ego. And if you're fighting other narcissists, you're in a world of narcissists. You better be a little narky, or they're gonna get you. They're gonna eat you alive like some sharks, because that's what they are. They're shark narcs. They're narc sharks, and that's what they do. They'll find any little weakness, any little softness in you, and say, "Look at this soft little bitch. Eat him alive."
Yeah, he's
And
this.
they'll
He's.
play they love
Let's
everybody.
see if we can have him say it himself. You know what I mean? We'll keep calling him something to see if he can have him say it himself, or he did something himself. Like,
Yeah, exactly. They'll keep pushing your buttons and see you attack them and say, "Oh, he deserved it." We told you he's a psycho. Look at how he's trying to hurt us.
yeah, basically. Yeah, basically.
Let me give you another example, guys. It's a slippery slope, It's a slippery slope. What's a slippery slope? They could say one time something explicit. I'm not even going to say it. It's not your mom. Slippery slope. She's got a slippery slope. Other people got slippery slopes. We're going down a slippery slope. And are you going down a slippery slope? Say to Satan, are you going down a slippery slope right in your mom? Are you going in your slippery? Why don't you go back in your mother's slippery slope, okay? Because you want a slippery slope, Satan. See, slippery slope. What does it mean now? Well, clearly it means vagina. But look, it doesn't sound like it means vagina, does it? But hey, You say it one time, you'll never forget it. And now you can go around and they can say, hey, your mother's slippery slope. She's going down. I care about her so much. I love your mother. You know what I mean? And it sounds like it's a caring, loving thing. But he's really saying your mother's pussy and all this shit.
Right.
You know? So that's how they operate. They operate in code words. And they use hypnosis and neurolinguistic programming. You know, the new normals, guys. It's the new normals.
They shove shit in your face on social media to try to make you fucking think a certain thing. You know what I mean? They'll find any fucking tactic that you fucking use as your tool, whether it be to write or create something worthwhile, and try to use it against you, like the sick, twisted bastards that they are.
Yep. So. Everything that we just said, everything, this whole video, all the truth. False alarm. False alarm. It's not real. Stop it. Conspiracies. Just false alarm. Right? They'll just say false alarm real quick. What does that mean? Well, more and more it means it's not real. Don't worry. It's like a fire drill. It's not a real thing. It's just a drill. They're not speaking the truth. There's nothing to be alarmed about. See, that's called the hypnotic trigger sentence or trigger phrase. And all the devil has to do when anyone speaks the truth now is say, conspiracy theories, false alarm. Everyone's laughing at you. This crazy guy, this retard thinks that, huh? That's all it takes. And then the most hypnotically suggestible around you, the most dumbest idiots that don't know anything, they'll laugh along and think it's real.
Right. And they haven't even had a single conversation with you.
The truth, helping to persecute them and slander them as crazy and all this stuff, and going against God, losing their lives. Is that what you want to do? That's how powerful words are. Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me is bullshit, because words can hurt you more than sticks and stones can. Words can hurt you for eternity. Sticks and stones can only hurt you temporarily, right?
Right. Right. But words can get into your psyche and change your whole fucking mind. If you get enough of those words and you put up with it enough, they can change your whole fucking mindset. They can try to manifest some bullshit that wasn't even there. Like some douchebag would. You know what I mean? It's better to just know yourself and just speak the truth and just know what you're gonna do as far as your life goes. So everybody else is gonna try to put their label on you because you just know too much. You know what I mean? They'll call you all these things. That's what they did to JFK. That's why, you know, when you actually watch the motorcade, when you watch the motorcade, you know, in the beginning of the motorcade, there's literally a guy that is trying to get on the back of JFK's car, and he turns around and he throws his hands up. He's like, "What do you mean I can't get on the back of his car? Gee, I wonder why." You know what I mean? Moments later, no more JFK. You know, like
maybe he was trying to help. Maybe he was trying to tell him.
Right? No, they stole his brain like 3 years later, trying to basically make it look like, oh yeah, dude. You know, we want to make sure you never investigate at all.
Plot twist, bro. Theory. Maybe that guy knew that he was going to get shot and try to warn him, but they were like, "No, don't get on his car, man." Right. Or maybe not. I don't know. Or maybe
you can literally see in the video. He's walking beside his car. He turns around. He throws his hands up like, "Dude, I can't get on the back of his car. I'm a fucking Secret Service man. I should be able to go. I'm trying to protect him." Nope, they don't even allow him to get on the back of his car. He jumps on the back of the car behind him.
Wow.
And he ends up dying.
That could potentially help save him.
Right. He could have been catching the bullet.
That was probably God in him, man. He probably had an intuition, probably had a feeling, a gut feeling, go. And they held him back. They're like, nah, he's gonna die today.
Right. Nope. They didn't want a side guy that they might have to answer for. Like, why did he get shot from this side? You know what I mean? This guy got shot from this side, so why is he in the depository? He wasn't in the depository. He was in the sewer. She went up at his neck and took his face off. You know what I mean? He didn't get it from the back. He got it from the front in the sewer.
Yeah. But look at Snowden. Snowden, he's like a perfect example of how, you know, he's like a Christ figure, kind of. I'm not saying he was like Christ, that he's Christ, but that's what I'm saying. He did the right thing, in my opinion. He blew the whistle. He spoke the truth about the violations and the rights abuses by our own NSA, our own government. Right. What did they do? They called him a traitor. They called him a sellout. They called him everything. Everything in the book. Yeah, he did the right thing, though. He spoke the truth. So, that's what they do. So don't worry about all the haters want to talk shit, guys. Let them talk shit. They're the ones in the end of it all, when everyone realizes the truth or knows what the truth is, they're the ones that everyone looks back and says, wow, how stupid were they? They were the traitors.
Right. They were the ones that were actually against the fucking the positivity and the movement of a better direction of the entire fucking human race. Really.
Exactly. It's like right now. Look back. How many people are making messages now with music behind them? Nice speeches saying, "Cheers to you, congratulations to you, who didn't get the vaccine. You are the ones that stood against all odds and thought for yourselves and didn't get it." But I'm not saying everybody that got a vaccine is an idiot. I'm just saying, it's like, when you think back later on in life, you realize, look, you were getting conned. Look, people did die. Look, the forces of evil control planet Earth. Maybe you shouldn't put in your body what they told you to.
Right. They don't know any better. How would they know?
That's the problem. They don't know. And they think everything's a conspiracy theory, so they never will.
They just had a video that they scrubbed from the internet that had Jesse Ventura talking to a doctor back in 2009, talking about vaccines will be coming out later on.
Yeah, they're trying to force them.
Yeah, but they scrubbed it. They scrubbed it, and they have a video of like fact checking, basically saying like, "Oh, this is a BS video." But it's like, yo, that was a very interesting video. I like that video. And Jesse Ventura was out, and he was showing the doctor like FEMA camps and the fucking big ass stack of like the big ass stack of coffins that they have.
Yeah, I seen those. There's thousands of them everywhere. The grave liners, you can fit 5 bodies each of them.
Yeah.
What was I just gonna look up here? Oh yeah, ready to check something out, guys? Check this out. This document right here. This document is from the ACEP Patient Alert website, which is located at emergencyphysicians.org, right? So this document right here speaks about COVID-19 coronavirus, right? Stop the spread. And now this document was released for people in Africa and the Middle East. But what year did we learn about COVID-19, guys? Do you remember what year it was, Peter?
It was 2020, wasn't it?
2020. And what year did they say COVID-19 was created or started?
19. That's why it's 19.
All right, now watch this. Take a look. This is the oldest document that I could find on the entire internet or through Google. And I had to do some extra search and look at this small, tiny little text here. Look at the date on it.
2012.
March 20th, 2012.
Yeah, but there was a rap video where this guy was literally talking about the coronavirus and stacking bodies back in 2013. Yeah, like that's
exactly. That's what they were. They were stacking bodies back in 2013 and 2012, and before that,
right,
in Africa and the Middle East, coincidentally, where Bill Gates does that stuff and all those other assholes, huh?
Right. Well, he had a polio vaccine that gave people cancer or something like that, I think.
And Hunter Biden's laptop that they didn't want anybody to see, they found on his laptop stuff about biolabs going back well before COVID-19 again, with Hunter Biden himself controlling these labs or being a front guy for them in Ukraine. So Ukraine is like their own little personal elite hangout while they work with Russia, pretending to go against Russia, and work with China, pretending to go against China, the Chinese Communist Nazi Satanist Party, when in reality they're just running this whole thing like a script to deceive the billions of people that will fucking kill them if they find out, right?
Well, Ukraine's about biolabs. They have like the most biolabs like on the planet. Ukraine.
I can only imagine how many kids they traffic in Ukraine too. Probably where all the kids go now.
They just like lost. I think they lost like a millionaire earlier this year or last year. He was talking about it. Them doing trafficking in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, they're doing it everywhere, and they're
Yeah,
mostly, I heard, underground.
yeah,
I got this whistleblower. He was an ex-Men in Black CIA agent, and
yeah.
he was an assassin. And he used to assassinate ufologists and people that saw too much and knew too much regarding extraterrestrials. And he was brainwashed and mind controlled with like as a
Right.
sleeper agent, to forget about everything after he's done. But
Yep.
his handler was a
Right.
hybrid, a gray hybrid, human gray hybrid or whatever. And he was taken underground, and he said that, the majority of, or a good portion, or like 1/3 or more of the children that go missing are kidnapped by government operatives and taken underground to not be experimented on or tortured by human scientists, but by the gray aliens working for Lucifer Satan the whole time. And that the United States government, the military industrial complex, and the rest of the nation's leaders, they have a treaty called the Greta Treaty or the Granada Treaty with those aliens in exchange for technology. And that's why we advanced so far so quickly with these technologies all these years, in the past few years, because they trade technology for human kids. And the CIA is in on it, and the FBI is in on it. It's called the Finders scandal, one of them. And they're the Illuminati. They're Illuminati controlled. So now, officially, the CIA is more Illuminati than not Illuminati. Its whole thing, the entirety of it. And JFK was trying to shut it down, right? And the Federal Reserve. And the FBI is dirty like the CIA now. They run MK Ultra and Monarch Continued. They run Counterintelligence Program Continued, even call it the Counterintelligence Program, in our faces. They run Pizzagate and Pedogate from a distance like Strange Days the movie with these technologies.
Yeah, but they've been that way for like a minute. Dude. JFK was trying to take down both of them.
I know.
There's nothing new about that.
But they need to be taken down now. We need to take them down. That's what we need to do. But the people don't have the balls. They don't have the backbones. They don't have the spine. They don't have the intelligence. They don't have the, they don't have it. They don't have it in them. So I'm hoping this might help. We could help them by getting other people to help other people, and then, just keep spreading this anomaly, this butterfly effect, ripple effect, whatever. It's like the Mandela effect, but we're just making it happen now.
Yeah, but the red tape why they took down JFK was when he went after the oil industry, which is what George Herbert Walker Bush is like a part of or whatever. He ended up paying like 8 mob members to end up taking him out in the Daily Plaza. But and then they blame it on one lone gun.
I think the best thing we can do is be a Trojan horse, man. Because every single thing that these whistleblowers have exposed, combine them and expose it yourself too, and back it up and prove it for them and everyone else. So that way, if they kill you, they've just helped you expose themselves and all of reality.
Right. Well, that's why I feel like certain things could like never happen. Like they say, there's certain people, believe it or not, that will actually, they're probably like seen maybe not as civil rights leaders, but they could have been if they stayed here a little bit longer. So like that's why I feel like certain stories didn't go the way that people are saying. Like they say like Tupac's still alive or whatever, but it's like, dude, he basically died as a martyr because he started talking about what's really going on in the world.
And a lot of that stuff is the FBI and these other counterintelligence programs, right?
You said what?
They have agent provocateurs, people like the FBI and the counterintelligence program, and like all these other people that are hired by these secret societies and whoever to literally go out there and spread these rumors, to say that kind of shit, just to create division and distractions so that people don't, realize what's really going on. So they're arguing about, is it flat? Is it round? Is JFK still there? instead of, maybe we should stop their devilry right now. All of
Right.
it.
Right. No, I just feel like if he died, he died. But I mean, like if he's still alive, dude, I don't feel like he's really being shown in a good light. And you died like as a martyr. So like if you're still alive and you're not talking, that's kind of like against everything that you stood up for. You know what I mean? Even though both of them, believe it or not, like Biggie and Tupac, as far as their label was concerned, they were both leaving their label.
There's
So
another theory. There's
Is it
another
what?
theory that says that the reason why these beings keep us alive and persecute and torture us, one, because they use us like they use Jesus, his name and God and everybody else on the planet that they use,
Yeah,
to run, do this division, to get everybody to argue about them and use them
right.
to brainwash everybody. But also, what was I saying? Sorry. The
You're,
reason
you're, you're,
why-
I was talking about Biggie and Tupac leaving labels, and you were going on about they use people that create division.
yeah.
I mean, they kind of are because they're kind of split up between he's still alive and he died. But yeah, okay,
Yeah, everything's like to divide us. But
right. Even small things like West Coast, East Coast was something he was against, and he was pointing out in several interviews to the point that they actually cut him off in some interviews. So because he was literally starting to get East Coast rappers to rap on his label that he was going to create on his own. So,
oh,
but
that's what I was gonna say. Sorry. My bad. No, I know what you're talking about because he
okay,
he signed a lot of other people on too, right?
yeah, no, he was recruiting East Coast rappers. So
Oh, yeah,
the
that's right. I
East
forgot
Coast
about
West Coast was like a lie for publicity to make money on
East
ratings.
Coast. This is what I was gonna say. Not only do they do that to
Go ahead.
deceive everyone and control you and scare the shit out of you and feed on your energy, your life force, what they're also doing, and this is a theory actually, so I'm not saying they're also doing it, but they
Go ahead.
kind of are technically doing this already. But they're trying to prevent you. They want to scare you. They want you to think that they want you to kill yourself. They want you to die. That they're going to kill you. They're going to kill you. Everywhere you go, we're going to kill you. We're going to kill you. Everybody's going to kill you. Everybody hates you. Your family hates you. Your friends hate you. God hates you. Everybody, the government hates you. They're all going to kill you. The Illuminati's going to get you. The demons are going to get you. Everybody's going to get you. Just to scare the shit out of you. But I have a theory that they want us to think that they want to kill us. One, to get the energy and to have the power and control over you. But two, so you don't leave. They won't kill you because if you're a free spirit, you might be a free spirit afterwards, and now you're no longer under their control. Now
Well, you
they
can
can't
move
hold you
wherever you
down, and now you can whoop their ass. Probably you can whoop their asses in the spiritual realms,
want.
or I don't know. That's just a theory. They're definitely either way trying to keep us in our bodies and make us think all this other shit, playing reverse psychology on us.
Hey, do you want to hear something that blew my mind?
Uh,
I seen a video of the other day. Chester Bennington. Do you want to know who his dad is?
oh,
John Podesta.
uh,
I swear to God, look at them both. They look so identical, like
uh,
the father and son.
Did you hear about Epstein? What happened in the cell right before he died, or said to be? He said
Yeah,
he was.
but he's probably a part of that Hillary hit list thing. I wouldn't be surprised.
But
Cause,
did you hear who he talked to? The last person he talked to in the
no,
cell in the jail?
no,
The
no.
CIA.
Oh well,
It's the
shocker.
CIA, because here's what he's doing for the CIA, and this is how evil the CIA is, or the agents that did this. Not the whole CIA. We can't oversimplify, overgeneralize everybody, guys. But
Right, they're all part of this.
Epstein Island was all about taking rich people, people with influence and power and money, over that island and partying it up, but also people like how they set up politicians and stuff with underage girls. They do that. Where Epstein, his island full of underage girls and boys and stuff like that, and all these horrible things, could use the CIA, or the CIA uses him and his island to have dirt on everybody with hidden cameras all over the island. So that way, if they don't want to if they don't want to be Illuminati controlled, if they don't want to work for Satan, if they don't want to be evil and do what they're told, oh, well, that's what they got on them. They're another Epstein.
Right.
So Epstein was working directly for the CIA to do that.
Yeah,
So
that's what
he
they
either
that's what
was
they do to rock stars.
they either killed him or they put
Yeah.
him in witness protection because that's where he was said to be going, into witness protection, or he killed himself because he didn't want to deal with that shit. One way or
Right.
the other.
Right.
But that's
That's
the
what,
full. That's the bigger story there. That's what
yeah.
they did. That's what they're still doing now. I'm assuming.
Right.
But they had to bury Epstein and make it all about Epstein, so they wouldn't get caught up in it. So the governments wouldn't get caught up in it.
Right.
And they had to use the corporate controlled news media to constantly pace and lead and narrate everyone's thoughts 24/7, like they always do. So you couldn't think anything else. And even if you did, good luck telling all these people were brainwashing to believe the opposite, okay?
Right. Because they watch everything that they shouldn't have watched, which is on TV, which is 90% propaganda due to Barack Obama and his little
Those
it was an
brown
act.
people destroyed the
It was
Twin
an
Towers.
act that he passed. I think it's like Minich Smith or something. He passed an act that allowed propaganda in America. That's why 90% is all the same. There's like a small, tiny percent that's different. Like Fox News. That's why they always trash Fox because they're
Yeah.
the only ones that are saying a little bit more.
Fox and gematria or whatever, that symbolism, numerology stuff, is 666. You know that?
I didn't know that, but
Yeah.
it
I
wouldn't
don't know
surprise
how, but
me.
it's
It wouldn't
666.
surprise me because Fox is probably gonna be a part of the same system because Disney just bought Fox for like 56 million, I think. So technically, it's gonna be around the board. So it won't even be 90% anymore. It'll be 100% across the board.
Walt Disney's signature has 666 right in it.
I know. That's why I said it wouldn't surprise me. I
Yeah.
was basically
And look
giving
at
them a
the
head
sick
nod.
hella shit. Look at Disney
Wouldn't
World,
surprise.
Disneyland. They got a new, it says Disney World or Disney or something. It's a logo and it looks like it's a dick. It's like a 666 dick, man.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it is. And it's like Mickey Mouse. It's got a Minnie Mouse thing, or it's like a dick lollipop or something in some of the Disney. Yeah, you gotta look it up. Satanic
Oh.
Disney. You gotta look it up, and you'll see in the images on Google, like people like they freeze, they pause the movie, and you can see like in the background of one of them it says "Ask about Illuminati" on the on the chalkboard or on the
Yeah,
whiteboard.
yeah. There's Donald Duck. I seen that. I
They,
seen that.
they
It's
got
got
the F
Donald Duck.
movie. The Lion
Yeah,
King when the wind blows the dust, it spells sex
yeah.
when you pause it.
No, that's been in there for like a minute.
So they're
They had it
programming,
covered.
satanically sexualizing children and acting like no, sex sells, it's just for profit. But subliminal advertising, subliminals are illegal, so they shouldn't be doing that either way.
Right. Well, they just had that with Balenciaga. So yeah, with the dominatrix.
Music videos, that's in political speeches. I mean, how many times has Donald Trump in all of his speeches, when hasn't he thrown up the 666 multiple times when he was talking?
I literally just watched a video today that said he had to give his he had to sign a contract that gave his soul to the devil or something. I
Yeah,
literally just watched it
he
today.
became a Jew. He joined Israel.
Yeah.
And we know what that means. It says in the Bible that means you're the synagogue of Satan.
Yeah,
It
I
means you're
literally just watched the
Luciferian,
video.
Antichrist. So he
Well, I
may
didn't
be
know that
evil,
until I
but
seen
I
that
don't know
video,
if
but I
he's
wasn't
gay.
involved. Yeah.
What? Sorry.
No, I said I literally just seen that video where he said he had to give his soul to the devil or something. But it only showed like a small part. It showed that part where he said it, and then there wasn't like that much more after it. I was like, let me hear the whole. Like, I want to hear the whole speech. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if they're ad libbing or changing a fucking conversation because they've done that before on TikTok where they had Barack Obama having a conversation with like, I think it was like Germany, and
Yeah.
they basically made it look like he was like repeating everything that Hitler did, but it's like, dude, that's not even the whole conversation. Like, you got to hear the whole. You know what I mean?
He's beyond Hitler.
People
That's
like
for sure.
lying. You know what I mean?
My
People
grandmother
lying.
loved him. I see him like I used to love him because I see him as the better alternative. He appears to be the better alternative. But I mean, if you put a piece of shit next to a pile of puke, what's the better route?
Okay.
There's still shit and puke. You know? So what does it matter? You're not making every time you say let's make America great again, you're reinforcing the hypnotic programming that it's not.
Right, right. Well,
It's not.
Lewis Black said it best. You know, every time you get in that booth, you're choosing between two bowls of shit. The only difference is the smell.
Yeah, literally. That's all it is. I mean, it's kind of obvious. His red ties, his 666 number building, and then the 666 floors, and
Yeah.
his name standing for Little Horn, which apparently in the Bible, Trump is, Little Horn is, Karen is, who's a Karen right now, right? Is the Antichrist. Is
Right.
another name for him. So I think he's a setup. I think he's a decoy Antichrist, or he's just like a freaking cadaver avatar meat suit. I don't know. He
I think
is.
it was,
I don't
I
think
think it
he's,
was a bunch of different things.
but he's
Yeah.
certainly at this moment in time, by definition, a Antichrist. Unfortunately, I gotta be honest and say that. And
think it's
maybe even at this point in time, maybe even I am, and I don't even want to be. Just because I'm using money. Money's bad, and the system. I swear, I smoke marijuana. I have premarital sex. I'm a sinner, and I apologize, God. Let me speak on behalf of everybody that does that. Shouldn't do that. You gotta stop, guys. You gotta chill. But nobody's perfect, right? We're not perfect. But we don't want to be like them, do we? So let's take a look at all the Antichrist, all the people saying Hail Satan all around us. Yeah. Take a look throughout time. Look at their fuzzy little outfits. Look at how they took themselves so seriously being the bitches of the devil and all the forces of evil they work for. Look at it. They took themselves so seriously, didn't they? Sir, yes, sir, we're the greatest. We're so special. Don't be like them. Because they're not. They're special retarded. See? And not in a good kind of way. Because I'm retarded. I'm special a little bit. So I can say that. But let me tell you guys, you don't want to be like them.
I think Trump was just more the path of this. This is what America could be before we completely dismantled it completely with Biden and Kamala. Only because the fact that some people actually brought up that if they end up going to war, that Biden's going to end up staying in office, but they already had a prediction with President Ford. When President Ford was in office, the press asked him like, "Will there ever be a woman president?" And what he said was, somewhere like down the line, there'll be a man who end up dying in office, and a woman will end up becoming president. So, like, I think that's gonna happen.
That
So,
makes sense. I
Kamala
could see
being the
Trump dying
president.
and then somebody else taking his place or something. Because
Oh no, I was talking Biden and
I'm not
Kamala.
completely against Trump. Like I know I said that he's an antichrist and all that, but I want to reiterate for him and for everyone else and for myself too that I think we need to go beyond labels. At least for people like us, where we can see the real forces of evil are trying to blur the lines. Blurred lines. That song. Yeah, they're literally blurring the lines for us to create confusion and disbelief in what is true, and chaos and disorder and division, and control the opposition, control all the sides. And so what we need to do is we need to get beyond that. We need to recognize that there is good, bad, divine, evil, a little antichristness, a little Christness, a little godness, a little devilishness in just about everyone here. And you need to choose which one you're going to choose. What do you want to be? Who do you choose? Do you choose the real God and the real truth and real life and real peace and harmony and salvation? Or do you want to play pretend and do what's easy and not get persecuted, not get attacked, not get tortured because you chose what was fake that looked better, that sounded better, but ultimately led to your death and doom? Because you chose a fake God and fake life.
Ultimately left to your ultimate control with no rights and just do what you're told. Basically, because that's what it's coming to.
Personally, I'll tell you guys, someone that's been persecuted and tortured, just one of them, it's worth it. Go that route.
It
Beg
really
for
is.
it. Welcome
It really is.
Pray for it.
What is life really if you're not fighting for something?
If the forces of evil are torturing you and slandering you and framing you and calling you, he thinks he's Christ and he's the Antichrist and the prophet and false prophet and all this stuff, then that tells you a lot of things, doesn't it? That tells you you're right. You're probably doing good. You're probably doing good in life. You're close with God. Probably you're getting there. You're close to the truth, or you have the truth, and a little bit of it anyway. And you're a threat to them. They don't like you because you're not evil like them. So they compliment you every second, don't they?
There's something that you're doing that's agitating their demons that they don't like.
Yeah, I've noticed even people around us, people that don't even know who you are.
Right.
They'll respond to your energy. They'll just hate you. They'll give you dirty looks. They'll fucking, the demons in them will just come out of them, man. They'll just fucking, the demons will take over them and they'll like attack you out of nowhere. It's weird, man. I had some guy walking down the street. I was walking down the street over here and, I'm not going to say where I am, but like he's like, you're bringing the demons to blank where I live. And he wasn't on the phone. He was talking to me. So he was either demonically influenced to say that out loud, was somebody hiding, a gang stalker that knew who I was, or what's the explanation for that? I didn't imagine it. It happened.
Right.
He said it out loud. You're bringing the demons to blank. So they're trying to intimidate me, trying to scare me.
Right.
Well, you get die on the vehicles one after the other while they beep at you and throw up the devil horns. I think they're making it pretty obvious, right? It's not your imagination. It's not a mental illness.
Right.
They're telling you to fucking kill yourself or get indoctrinated and initiated to become a Luciferian in the Illuminati. That's what they're saying. They're saying it's the game, the movie. They think it's a game, a sick game for your soul. Join them. Or die off and get slandered and framed as the worst possible fucking things to everyone around you. So they don't listen to a goddamn thing you say.
Right, because you're speaking too much truth.
Or them damn thing.
Right.
Oh, goddamn. That's what they've been doing every day for thousands of years since Christ's time and before that.
I've been dealing with it everywhere. It's ridiculous, yo. I've never been so spiritually awoke that I'm like, dude, I wish I would just go back to sleep and not know any of this shit.
That's how I feel.
Not bad.
But the more you know, the better off you are. I know a lot of people are scared of this information, but you should be more scared of not having this information. So that way, when if you decide to do the right thing, or you decide to get closer to God, or find this information, if you didn't already, or you're on that path, your spiritual path, going beyond the religions and the politics and the science and all the bullshit of this world, and you're getting into the real truth, you're going to get attacked. You're going to get persecuted if you don't stick to yourself. They're going to fuck with you. That's going to happen. And here's how it starts off. You're walking around and that's the guy, that's him, that's her, that's them. You'll hear that. They'll get stalked. They'll slowly but slowly, they'll say your name. They'll stalk you around. They'll follow you in cars. They'll follow you in stores. Yeah, they'll say things out loud pertaining to your life that only, would relate to you and have no fucking, reason to say it any other way. And let you know they're watching you, that they're hired to follow you around, that they're little fucking Illuminati sellout fuckbags and Freemasons and shit like that. They're going to let you know they're the degenerates of life and that you're cool, right? That's what they do. They tell you that you're awesome everywhere you go. But you don't know that until later on. So let me help you skip it. You're awesome. And that's why they hate you. Because they're not you. They're a bunch of degenerate assholes that do everything they're told and believe everything they're told to believe for some money and to fit in.
Why you want to fit in, though? It's so fucking awful, bro. This shit is so bad, bro. Like, come on, man.
About their narcissistic selves.
Oh, man, the amount of biology books that they're going to have to fucking toss out the fucking window of every single public library. It's just crazy. It's completely crazy.
For real. You guys ever heard the term white knights, manginas? You ever heard those terms? White knights and manginas? That's what they are. And let me explain to you what that means if you don't know. Here's what it is. Right? You go into a club, you go into a bar, a girl, she's with her guy friend, some loser that, flocks on her all day. He's too scared to say, hey, I like you, so he stalks her and jerks off to her Facebook photos and shit like that, and then, goes to the club with her and plays best friend wingman, right? And then every guy like you, let's say you want to go talk to her. Oh my God, I don't like the way that guy looks. He looks like a psycho. He looks like a stalker. He looks like everything. He'll describe everything that he is and say it about you, right? That's called a white knight mangina. That's called a creeper that pretends to be a hero because he's the creep. Don't
Right.
be one of them, okay, guys? Because we see through you now. We see all that shit.
Right. Like I know who I am. So
Fire to
fuck
burn
off
the
with that
children to go in there and try to save the day.
shit. Yeah. It's crazy, yo. It really is crazy. I've been dealing with that shit for fucking a couple of years now. It's fucking ridiculous. But it's
Well,
like, yo,
these fuckers think they're
these
slick.
on
They're
shit, you
born
know, it's
into it.
crazy.
People are born here thinking they're like the first born people here, and nobody's lived a life and done it all, seen it all already. You grow up and you realize all the tricks that you thought were so clever ain't so clever because people know them already. They've done them too.
Right.
All the lies you think are so deceptive, we see right through them and know you're a liar. So get caught some
Right.
more. The counterintelligence program, FBI, CIA. Yeah, your counterintelligence leads to real intelligence about your ongoing crimes and devilry beyond crimes that lead to, what's capital crimes get capital punishment. That's death or life in jail, maybe Gitmo, maybe a little hell afterwards. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe you guys can think about that intelligently. All lies lead to the truth and expose how you lied to people. You got caught, no matter what, one day. You guys like to monitor and surveil and record with supercomputers and agents. That's what God does with the
Right.
Akashic records. You know what the Akashic records are? They're the records of every thought and everything you've ever experienced in your life. So you could be judged for it later on.
And it's not just you, it's everybody in the past.
Yeah,
Everybody. The whole fucking line.
every God, every angel, every being that ever lived is
Every
currently.
written down thing. Yeah.
So if you think you can get away with being evil, well, just know the devil you work for works for the real God.
Right.
Or so they say, to set you up. So you can delight in your wickedness and your delusions, just like it says in the Bible. And go ahead and slander and persecute us and call us crazy for speaking the truth. And look what happens. Step by step, you see, it's right there.
Right.
We planned for you.
Right.
So why would you want to be on the wrong side of that? For money that's backed by no value? For fame that leads to paparazzi and a bunch of rumors spread about you, people hating you at the same time, and infamy, and people trying to, use you for everything, you don't know who to trust anymore?
And you can't leave your house. You have to pay people. Fuck that.
You're going to sell your soul to Satan and dread your life and never be able to enjoy a single dollar or any of that
Right.
fame because you know you're going to burn in hell probably?
Right.
What can you enjoy?
You got buyers on Amazon because you're afraid to leave your house because you're going to be harassed by fucking paparazzi.
When you start thinking you might have 100 years, you probably won't, to live on and enjoy not even the eternal, not even the best of the best life you could have, not even close to it, right? But then forever and ever, another 100 years, and then 100 times 100, times 1,000, times 1,000,000, times 1,000,000,000, times 1,000,000,000,000, times a Googleplex, times a Googleplex, times a Googleplex. You're fucked now. Was it worth it? Wasn't worth it, right? That's why we do this every day and speak these truths, so you don't get that in your fate as your future. And we don't want that either. We could be we're facing that right now with you. We're not better than you.
Right. I don't think I'm better than anybody. I don't.
We're not better than you. We're just trying to help you.
I'm trying to live my life and have everybody live a better life.
Exactly. By helping you, we help ourselves too. By helping you help change the world is better for us. In it, on it. Here we are. And if you believe in reincarnation, well then, if you believe that you're gonna forget everything, you're gonna lose all your memories. So don't you want to start off again with all of this?
Well, there's a I forget what it is, but there's like a mental condition where people remember their past lives until like the age of 7. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but they have it in a couple
about reincarnation personally, so I don't want to really go into any deep.
I don't believe in it completely myself either, but I'm kind of more on the fence. So, but I'm just saying, like, there's definitely
that they would. Here's my theory. It's nice and quick. Reincarnation is the karmic overlords that were or were not gods, the real ones, that set us up and kind of rigged reality or a test to see if we could pass or, prove ourselves worthy of living on in the higher realms and hyperspace, beyond space and time with God in the heavenly realms, whatever. And
Yeah.
so every, instead of giving us one life, they figured, hey, we'll reincarnate them and give them multiple tries. At least that's the narrative. And so, the only way to really escape reincarnation is to, achieve samsara or sorry, nirvana, and you escape samsara, sorry. And samsara probably has something to do with Samael, Saturn, keeping you down. But you know, what you're supposed to do is apparently, just escape from, you're supposed to lift yourself up vibrationally and learn enough information and go beyond the flesh and blood, so that way you're no longer subject spiritually to the material reality in the lower realms.
Right.
So you're so consciously and spiritually evolved that you're too much to even be here. That you vibrate so high that you literally disappear from this dimension, these realms, because now you're vibrating, because these realms are a vibration, they're frequencies.
Right.
And
Right.
we are vibrating in attunement, alignment, like you would tune a piano or a guitar, where
Right.
in these realms. And because we're the same frequency and vibration of these realms, or our bodies are holding our souls down, that's where we stay. But if you raise your frequency, your vibration higher than the realms, then you're no longer in the realms. You go beyond the realms.
Right.
So you're not changing your location, you're changing your state of being. Right. So location is part of the matrix. It's part of time space. Beyond time space in this matrix, there is no location. It's everywhere at the same time. It's beyond time and space. It's beyond our comprehension, really. It's eternal. It's beyond the concept of time and space. And everyone that leaves their body pretty much says that they felt that. They know what that feels like. To feel like there's no more time, it's just for eternity now. To feel like you're at one with God and everything and everyone in life. That you feel more love and more bliss and more happiness and more peace than ever before. That's what people that leave their bodies say that they experience.
Well, I wasn't trying to go like reincarnation. I was just saying like there is a medical thing that happens to some kids where they end up losing this ability, but they have abilities of past life until the age of like 7.5. Where there was an incident on an old episode of Unsolved Mysteries. There was a guy that pretty much led a group of cops to where his body was buried, and they told him who murdered him, like his past life.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
I've heard about them doing that, like remote viewing, the Stargate program and stuff, where they'll find bombs and people that got kidnapped and shit.
Well, yeah, Operation Stargate. Yeah, I know
that's all real. The CIA did a lot of stuff. They even time traveled. The people at the Tavistock Institute, some of them said they traveled in the future. I don't know about that, but they said they literally time traveled with it. They're able to influence real reality. I had this one woman, I didn't have her, but she was on TikTok, and her video was on my channel. I think I put it on there. And she said that she astral traveled, and there were some spirit guides or some beings helping her. And there was like this little boy or a little girl or some kid running from like a predator or something. And she was out of body and somehow tripped him. She tripped him and saved the kid. And she said that the spirit guides or the higher dimensional beings were telling her to send the message to people to do this, to get out of their bodies, to go in the heavenly realms, and to do work for God and these beings. So that way, we can actually help save people instead of being trapped in bodies, like we're in a freaking video game.
Right.
Like animals in a zoo. Right. So essentially, when you leave your body, you're an energy being that can shapeshift and, basically materialize or manifest things at will with your thoughts. And they clearly don't want you to do that. So I guess another theory would be, and I guess everything works together, all good, bad, divine, and evil kind of work together, antimoniously, multivalently. But it seems like the karmic overlords were trying to prevent your escape. And so they put you in another body and wipe your memory. So they can play God and feed on your energy and continue to live on as parasites. That's just a theory. If I'm wrong, I apologize, because I can, see how that could be disrespectful.
There's nothing wrong with being theoretical. Theoretical. You're not bashing anybody's religion. It's
Well,
just theoretical.
gotta use the process of elimination, guys. We gotta add it up. There's an endless amount of clues awaiting us right there. And all we needed all these years was for us to stop being distracted by all this other bullshit and focus on this here and now and enjoy it. We will enjoy it. Learning is fun when you're not learning a bunch of shit that you don't want to learn that you're being forced to. Learning is really fun when you're learning about the meanings of life, God, yourself, everyone else, magic and spiritual abilities, and going beyond this boring, mediocre existence down here. Learning is really fun and exciting.
It's
And you'll
worthwhile.
have more meaning and more purpose and more fun and more excitement and more love for it than probably anything else you've ever experienced in your whole life.
Right.
Just doing what we're doing now.
Yeah.
That's all you had to do. Connect the dots, guys. Connect the dots. All you need to do is start with one truth. Here it is. The truth is truth. Or everything is antinomous and multivalent. There's a truth. If you start the foundation of truth with that, everything is antinomous and multivalent and comes from the one true God. There you go. Now, what does that say? That says everything all at the same time. But go ahead and add it up. And what does it prove? And what does it disprove automatically? Self-evidently all on its own. That's the power you now have that nobody in all generations had before you. Because you couldn't prove that. You couldn't prove or disprove those things. Now you can. Now you can prove and disprove those things that prove ongoing crimes, ongoing evils, ongoing deceptions, ongoing slavery, ongoing devilry, and the freaking fake gods that got exposed and everyone working for them. That's what you can do as soon as you do that. As soon as you do that. That's mission possible now. That's mission possible.
Cover it. It's fucking you're possible. Anything is possible. Put your mind
That's
to
the
it.
highest priority mission, though. Like that's it. Other than getting out of here and extracting out as many people as you can spiritually to transfigure their bodies or ascend to atonement to formlessness with God and the All. That's your highest priority mission.
What's that meditation program you were telling me about? The alternative beings of light. That was a good one.
The light being the Galactic Federation.
They end up turning into beings of light, and they end up ascending. I remember when I used to chill with you. You were telling me about I think it was like a project or something. A lot of people end up turning into just
light. The rainbow body, yeah. The Buddhist or Tibetan monks. There's over 160,000 of them that were documented, recorded. They got photographic evidence, even I believe Kirlian photography, spiritual photography. And what we did was a process called Dzogchen. Now, keep in mind, I think this may be deceptive.
Okay.
I think this may be trapping them in a light body and not being, atonement, merging with the All. But I could be wrong. But what they did was they basically turned their bodies into light. And their physical bodies shrunk and disappeared out of thin air, or they slowly shrink, became like a child size and only left hair and fingernails or a childlike infant-like body.
Wow.
And this is all real. And then when they took a picture with the spiritual photography, they were a rainbow. They have a rainbow body. They were just a rainbow in the dark. Basically. Like Dio, the rainbow in the dark.
Yeah.
Sign of the morning. It's the rainbow in the dark. And that's what we are apparently deep down without the bodies. We're those rainbows already. So what they apparently did was got rid of their bodies. And now they're just spiritual beings or light beings. And no longer subject to time and space and matter and slavery and needing to eat and work and do all the things
human animals need to do, because that's what they made us to. But I don't know, man, it's crazy stuff. We'll have to debate about it.
Yeah.
I'm getting a call though. But here's the calling, ladies and gentlemen. This is the calling in general. I hope you're hearing it. It's the truth.
It's calling you. It's the grace of God calling. I got Grace calling me right now, my girlfriend Grace. But it's the grace of God. That's what I call her, grace of God. She represents the grace of God, guys. And we have the grace of God. And God's calling us and saying, look, the truth is right there. It's been there all along. All you got to do is just connect the dots and
What?
talk about it with other people.
Yeah.
That's it. The truth sets you free. But I'm going to have to go right now.
All
But
right.
thank you, Peter.
It was great.
We got to definitely do another one of these. Part 3.
That was awesome. All right. Have a good
I'll
day.
hit you up in a little bit, bro.
All right. Bye.
Thank you, everybody, for watching this. Please share.
Bye.
You too.